the data was super clear. My data science team came to me and said, Gina, we can predict with 93% accuracy, 93% accuracy, whether a course or community or membership or challenge would succeed or fail. And it was based on one factor and one factor alone. It was not your content. It was not all of your library of resources. It was member-to-member connection. Hey, I'm Gina Bianchini, and this is People Magic, where we're going to talk about what it means to create a $1 million community.
Hi, Gina. I teach voiceover actors, and I'm less concerned about my members becoming friends and more concerned about keeping up with the demand of my content and courses and bringing in new people. I'd love your take on developing a community in that way.
Yeah, so here's one of the things I love about this question is so many people show up to me and People Magic and Mighty Networks, and they're like, my use case is really different. I am coming at it from my content, or I'm coming at it from a live event, or I'm doing it this way, or I'm doing it this way. Here's what I have learned. If your goals are to get somebody into your world, your content, you're teaching something. So it's how do you bring them in and how do they absorb and apply that topic? So here's the good news. All of the 9 pieces of People Magic. So your ideal member or identifying a transition, helping them get their best year ever, pulling those 2 things together to create your big purpose, having monthly themes, a weekly calendar, daily polls and questions, your offer, your launch, and your magical first experience. All of those things are as relevant to you if you're not trying to get your people to become best friends as it is if you are. So, as you are thinking about how you are creating the absolute best ecosystem, community, set of resources for voice actors, you now have an opportunity to think about it this way. Number one, most people are just not wanting to sit down and watch your videos anymore. They're just not. They might watch a short one on their phone, or they might watch it when they are doing something else, or they might listen to it while they're making dinner or going on a walk with their dog. But the idea that you're going to produce all of this content and people aren't going to necessarily just look at it and be like, oh my God, I don't really want to have that much work. That is something every teacher for every course has got to be grappling with today. Now, here's the beautiful thing. When you take a step back and you think about, okay, let's break down what you're looking for. So number one, bringing more voice actors into your world. So a great way to do that is by using your how-to content, which is really a framework that then people can apply that framework in their professional lives as they're aspiring to be voice actors. Then as they make it through that transition from not being a voice actor to being a voice actor, then they level up, and they level up to probably a working voice actor. Well, what does a working voice actor want? Probably gigs, opportunities. And one of the things that's really cool, they are finding those opportunities, and they are probably thinking about how they manage multiple opportunities, and also if they want to have a specific niche. So do they read commercials, or are they doing audiobooks? As these transitions happen, that is how you want to think about organizing your, what I like to call your value journey, or how you create different levels for your content, for your community, for your events, for the different ways that people are going to learn from the stories, the experiences, and the ideas of other voice actors who are on the same path. Now, you can absolutely choose to just have content. Like we support it at Mighty Networks. You can take people out of the whole equation. And the reason I want to make that point is, especially if you're coming at this from the content world, how do you scale? How do you reach more people, but like not have to do as much work yourself? Start with content only. What we have found is that even opportunities where people are in a chat, in a live stream, as you are presenting, that is going to get them more engaged and bring them back more often. The more that you offer polls and questions, so, in addition to courses and quizzes, if you also have polls and questions for your voice actors around what percentage of their time are they doing voice acting versus their day job, what and how do they feel about open casting calls or building their portfolio on YouTube? How and where do they expect to find their first opportunity? They're all learning from each other. And as they're learning from each other, you are creating more value for every person that you want to bring into your ecosystem. And as you bring more voice actors into your ecosystem and they're able to go from not being a voice actor to being a voice actor, and then being a voice actor to being a working voice actor, to being a working voice actor with a specialty, they're also going to recruit new people in because they know that you and your community, again, structured as courses or a membership or challenges or events, is going to be the very best place for them to embark on their own journey from not being a voice actor to being a voice actor, being a voice actor to being a working voice actor with their own niche or specialty. So it's the people that are going to keep your members engaged to be able to achieve the results and transformation that they want, to be able to become voice actors in ways that are right for them. And so I totally respect and I get starting with content, dipping your toe in the people to people bucket, or what we call people magic, and then looking for ways with polls and questions, with live streams and chats, with live events in person, introducing members who are local to each other. This is how you actually create results and transformation in people's lives. Your content alone will not help somebody become a voice actor. It's your content structured as a framework for them to go and take into their own lives. That's how people become voice actors. That's how people become engineering managers. That's how people become owners of florist shops. It's not just consuming your content alone. They have to go apply it. And it turns out that when you are on a journey and a path with other people, it's just easier to do. So the reason we even launched and have heavily invested in creating what we call people magic, which is really what are those member-to-member connections, short of becoming best friends. That's sort of like our North Star. The data was super clear. My data science team came to me and said, Gina, we can predict with 93% accuracy, 93% accuracy, whether a course or community or membership or challenge would succeed or fail. And it was based on one factor and one factor alone. It was not your content. It was not all of your library of resources. It was member to member connection. It was the frequency and the volume of members talking to each other, DMing, answering each other's questions, answering your questions, your polls and questions that you as a host would put out there. That is what matters. Members recognizing other members, even into a system that we're going to be formalizing. This is what matters. And so I think it's just a really important thing for you to be able to take a step back and say, how do I scale this? Well, the answer is you scale your courses, your memberships, your challenges, your events, the way that you bring more and more people into the world of voice acting. and successfully bringing them into the world of voice acting. You do that through this combination of taking content, translating it into a framework that people can go and apply in their lives and learn from other people who are on the same path through their stories, their experiences, their ideas, not advice. Their stories, experiences, and their ideas, because those are what expand relationships, spark connection, and keep people coming back, giving people lots of reasons to come back, which ultimately means they're going to be successful voice actors. So you don't have to negate the power of community by saying, well, I don't want people to be their best friends. Like, my content is what's important. Think about it this way: is start with your content. It is important. Think about then evolving your content into a framework, into the application of your content. And I think that what we're all going to see is that we all have to up our game in how we translate our content into the lives of people that we want to reach. So one of the things, for example, I've done, in addition to having a podcast, a masterclass called People Magic, How to Create a $1 Million Community, is we've started in any offer or program that we're doing, we always follow it. Maybe I'm giving too much away here. Always follow it with a challenge. And a challenge that people are doing together with each other. Because what we have found is that the results that people get, the actions that they take, the launches that they do are so much more effective if, for even just 3 days, they're applying what I'm talking about in this podcast or in a masterclass or over the course of a virtual summit. It's night and day. It's night and day when you are learning things alongside other people, which is why it's so fun to go to college or high school or, a workshop or a conference or a retreat. People make learning something new really fun. I think that's your goal with voice actors and my goal with communities and community design. And I think it's evolving really quickly and in all of the right ways that make it really easy for you to be able to create and spark those relationships between the people that are all on this path to become voice actors. I'm Gina Bianchini, and this is People Magic. Thank you for being a part of People Magic. If you want more of a deep dive in any of these topics, but certainly having the framework of People Magic Profit, head on over to the website. The link is in the show notes. Have your own burning question about creating People Magic? Well, I want to answer it. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to just drop your question in the review section wherever you're listening to this podcast and keep tuning in.